multifamily investing with your VA home loan. This is one of, if not my favorite topic to talk about when it comes to helping people leverage and maximize their VA home loan entitlement. Not a lot of people know that you can buy up to 4 units or a fourplex with your VA home loan with no money down, and it is an excellent way to get your foot into the door in real estate investing. The way that works is you buy a 4-unit property, you're gonna live in one, you're gonna rent the other 3 out, and the VA will allow you to purchase that property with 100% financing. Not only that, but the other units in that fourplex, the other 3 that you're not living in, we can actually use the rents for that property to help you qualify for more home. And I talk to hundreds of veterans every year, and I can tell you that almost everybody, if they could go back and do it over, has said that they would get into a multifamily property sooner than they did, or they would have started with a multifamily property if it was possible. It is just the most cost-effective way to get your foot in the door in multifamily investing. There is not even a close second. There's no other loan program that allows you to do this outside of a VA home loan. Now, a couple things that we want to consider and that we have to be prepared for when you're going to buy a multifamily property with your VA home loan is one, like we talked about, occupancy, right? You have to be able to live in it, and it's got to be something that makes sense for you to live in. So it's got to be owner occupied. That's one of the main stipulations. Now, the second one is you're not just buying a home for yourself and your family anymore. You are now essentially a landlord, and you're responsible for the housing for 3 other families. So the VA has some additional guidance and some additional guidelines that they want you to adhere to. One of which being, if you don't have landlord experience, and if you're buying your first house, you don't have landlord experience, then they want you to have 6 months of savings in an account, so that if something was to happen, you turn over a tenant, somebody moves out of one of your units, you're not completely strapped, and all of a sudden the other 3 families are in a financial bind because you didn't have a little bit of a cushion. That's 6 months in savings of the mortgage payment. So whatever the mortgage payment is, times it by 6, and that's what you need to have access to. That doesn't have to be in a checking account. It can be a savings account, an investment account. It can be your TSP. Anything that is relatively liquid or can become liquid within reason can be used. So you got to have that savings, and if you don't have property management experience, they want you to have a contract, at least for the first 12 months, with a property manager, somebody who's going to help you manage that property and help you get your feet wet and learn how to manage a multifamily or learn how to manage rental properties, which, in my opinion, I don't think it's rocket science to manage a fourplex, but I do think that it is a good idea to get some help, especially if you're totally new to dealing with people and dealing with rental properties. They're also, property managers can be a huge resource for you when things go wrong. You know, you're not the one bringing the plunger over if that toilet backs up. You're not the one fixing the leak under the sink. The property manager usually has all those trades, and they can get somebody out there right away. It's really useful if you don't have that experience. Now, when you're buying multifamily, like we talked about, you're going to qualify for more loan because you're going to be able to use the rents from the other units as income to increase your qualification. And this is something that not a lot of people understand. And before I get too deep into that, I want to tell you it's up to 4 units. I don't care what your bank or your credit union says. I know there's big credit unions out there that do a ton of marketing towards veterans, and they tell you can only buy a duplex. They only let you buy a duplex. The VA home loan allows for a fourplex. I own one with a VA home loan. So when you're using that money to qualify for rents, going back to that, it's going to help you qualify for more. So you need to ask these questions of your loan officer if you're working with somebody that maybe doesn't specialize in this and do it every day. You want to make sure that you're asking questions about how much money are they giving you for the rents of the other units. And you have to understand the difference in purchase price is going to vary, or your qualification for different loan amounts is going to vary depending on how many units, what part of town, what the rents are, either what they currently are renting for, or if it's vacant, what the market rents are. That's all going to play a factor in how much you qualify for. So meaning you're going to qualify for more loan on a pre-approval for a 4-unit than you are on a 2-unit, because you have the additional 2 units. It's going to increase your purchase price. It's also going to increase the payment because the loan's going to be larger at 100% down, which is going to increase your reserve requirement, that 6 months that we talked about. So a few things to think about there, but this is absolutely one of the best ways to get your foot in the door and start building a portfolio of rental units. It is a silver bullet to financial freedom. It is a way to you get yourself ahead by using your benefit properly. What I hate to see is people that don't have this information. They go through a majority of their lives, or they make a bunch of purchases and buying decisions without having access to the information and truly understanding the benefit that they got through their service, and then it's underutilized and they're regretful of the way that they structured things, or they wish they would have done something different. We can help you avoid that. Reach out to us. We can take you through a deep dive on exactly what's possible with your benefit, and we can help you maximize it on your next purchase or your first purchase if this is the first house you're going to buy. You can click the link below. You can reach out to us and let us know if you have questions.